Welcome back to KRS Investment, where investments are made simple. Guys, if you have been subscribed to my channel, I greatly appreciate you 100%. If you have not yet subscribed, as usual, I thank you for your support. This is a channel that we'd like to grow to make sure everyone have somewhere that they could come and check for content. Now, we make investments simple. We like to share when we're making investment to make sure you guys are getting value for the content. Now, we do not ask you for anything in return. So if you do get any kind of messages that's asking you guys anything, it's not from us. Again, my name is Ken. I'm an entrepreneur investor in the stock market, of course, in real estate. Do own my small business as well, and I want to make sure that you guys could own your own by investing in the stock market. Use your profits and then invest in other business. Now, before we jump too much into it, I'd like to say, guys, please note that investments can be very risky when not done properly. Please invest responsibly and always do your research before you invest in the stock market. If you're not sure, you can always speak to a financial advisor to guide you how to invest your money, because you can definitely lose your investment as well as you can make a lot of money. Now, before we jump too much into it, guys, we have a lot that needs to get discussed today, as I would say. Now, if you have been following the market, we have been following a few different trades over the last few weeks. As you can see on my screen right now, we have been following Upstart holdings, and we have been following Affirms as well. On my right, you can see here, both of those stocks are trading lower than what we anticipate, but it's a good news if you're trying to buy and hold shares. Now, if you're looking, for example, and Affirm's holding, last week or week before, we encourage everyone to get in at $14.50. We saw that it dropped briefly to $13 and I believe around 18 cents around that point. Let's just double check here just to make sure we have everything up to par. So it drops just around, okay, $13.64. So anyone that got in that $14.50 that we recommend would have made a lot of profit. Now, since that time, we have seen it went on a small rally to up to $27.50. Now we have seen it came back down a tad lower. So this is what I say is very, very important, is that if you're following this stock, be cautious, try to make money at each rise and fall, I would say, because we're looking long term in terms of Affirm's holding. At least I'm looking long term with Affirm. So what I try to do, I try to buy at lows and then hold as long as possible until it goes for those small runs, and then we could make a big sell and then wait and then rebuy. Now, if you got in, as I said, anything below $14.50, we saw that it touches over $27 per share. So you'd have made 80% on your investment in less than 1 week. That is a great profit ratio if you're considering short term, right? So meaning that you could have bought and sell and make 80% profit and then wait again and buy again with a 50 to 60% discount again, and then wait, because pretty sure, I feel strongly that Affirm's holding will cross back $25 per share in the next coming days, in the next coming months. I'm aiming for this stock to crack $100 per share. Now, with the with interest rates, with inflations, with the debt that's piling up on consumer, you start to see less people are actually taking on debts, and that's the main thing you got to look for in terms of Affirm's holding and Upstart. These companies make money basically lending money for people to pay for products, and then people pay back over a set amount of time, and they make money off interest. So if less people are buying stuff and putting it on layaway payments or whatever you call it, then it will impact the revenue stream as well. But in the long term, I still think that Affirm is a company that I want to make sure that I hold onto longer. There's no rush into Affirm for me personally. Now, we will be touching on all these companies on the screen right now. Obviously, Now with Upstart Holdings, very similar to Affirm. I let you guys know that, hey, if you want to get in, great timing would have been around the same thing, right? If you bought below $27 per share, then you could have made a profit, because we saw it touches over $54 per share. So same 80%. If you notice the market, basically with Affirms and with Upstart, they kind of the pattern for both stock trades very similar, except I find with Upstart's holdings, it's a lot more volatile in terms of price movement. You may see the price fluctuate in the day. So if you're doing day trading, definitely with Upstart Holdings, you can make a few trades. Now, if you're making day trading, keep in mind, don't wait for these long swings. If you can, make those 3 to 4% sell, sell, sell. With Upstart, I feel you have a great opportunity to do so. Now, in terms of with Upstart and Affirm, I still prefer to hold on to Affirm's holding longer, but I do have invested in both companies, right? So, me personally, in my opinion, I think Affirm's holdings, for me, is the company I will hold on to longer. But with Upstart is still a great company. Now it is not as big as Affirm's holding, but it's growing, right? So let's take it one step at a day and make sure we're making the right decision. Now, as usual, guys, this is my own opinion. If you feel differently, I appreciate it. I respect that. Just do your research, and whichever way you want to lean to, that's totally fine with me. Only sharing my take. I'm not really telling anyone that they has to buy at a certain price. But great opportunity in both companies going long term. So if you're invested in it, then I strongly think you're still making the right decision, and there's a lot of profits to be made. Now, this company here, Mullen Automotive, still one of my favorite. It's an on the radar company. The reason why I got drawn to Mullen Auto is because the fact that they're actually doing their battery in house as well makes it very interesting for me personally. I think Mullen has room to grow at $1 per share. If you remember last, I think 2 weeks, when it drops below 80 cents per share, I encourage that, hey, it is a great time to buy and hold, right? We saw it went up to $1, I believe, 20 cents. So if you're able to buy at that time, you could have sold above 115 and then rebuy again to see how it is, right? But it's up to you guys. I think personally, Mullen Auto Motive is a great stock to hold on to right now, especially with the battery side of the business. Once that starts to fly, it will be great. Now, the main reason why I think Mullen Auto is a great pickup as well. I was in the shopping mall, I think on the weekend, either Sunday or Monday. I believe in Sunday, and I saw there was a company from Vietnam called VinFast, and I was looking at the ranges that they're advertising, and it's amazing to see and that there are a lot of different companies that's trying to get in on the market. I'm gonna try pull up that company to see. I'm not sure if you guys heard about this company before, but I want to do some more research before I start to really tell people that they need to take a look at it. But it's a company from Vietnam, and obviously they were doing their advertisement or their marketing in the mall. So I'm going to switch to my screen so you guys could take a look here and see. All right, so this is the company from Vietnam. It's called VinFast. I got a chance to sit in their car and to take a look at the features. I'm really excited to see in the 7-seater as well. Price range is not crazy. In Canadian dollars, the price range was less than 68,000, I believe. Let me just take a look here. I think we can actually see the price here. So VinFast, let's see here. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, so 69,000 Canadian dollars. And the great thing about this price is that they were giving away 6 to 8 thousand discount for anyone new that was signing up. So you'd have get it for less than 62,000. Plus they were giving up some other promotion for 5,000. And of course they have a battery subscription that they were giving up as well. So it is crazy to see that they are smaller companies that's coming out, or new companies that's coming in the market in terms of the EV space. So I think with Mullen Automotive, this is why I think for me personally, Mullen Automotive will be a great option for people that's looking for car in the future. And I think they're kind of following the footstep of what Tesla did. So I think in the future for sure, keep an eye on Mullen Auto. As I said, here we had Mullen Automotive sites right now. I just accept cookie. I never accept cookies, but anyway. So Mullen Automotive is very quite similar to VinFast when I look at the range and the price range as well. So if you guys want to take a look more in the company, you can definitely take a look. We can see the range you're looking at 3.25 miles right there. So I guess in Canadian, how do we calculate that? 325 times 1.6, I think. So 520 miles, so just around the same mile as the other company from Vietnam. But in terms of the battery system what Mullen is using, I'm excited to see how they will actually play out. So again, guys, make sure that you're doing your research in terms of these companies before you're investing. I'm only sharing my opinion, what I've been doing in terms of these company. Now, next company I want to take a look at is Veru. You guys understand with Veru how we actually done a lot of videos on Veru. I'm waiting to see what's new for Veru so far. There is a ton of activity that surround the company. We can see that there was news that the appointment of Joel Button to lead the U.S. infectious disease franchise to focus on hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So there's a few different news with Veru in terms of the FDA, in terms of their drug, in terms of the cancer treatment, in terms a lot of different things, right? So you can see the stock is getting very volatile in trade. In trading, 1 minute you see that $16, you see it back at $11 per share. So there's so many stuff that's happening right now. If you're holding long term, still keep focus, be disciplined. We take a look here. We're seeing it was down here below 780 per share, week and a half back, but then we see it spikes above $15, pull back in the low 12. Then we saw it breaks $16 per share, and then we see it comes right back down this morning below $12 per share again. So there's a ton of activity. Make sure you guys are filtering out the noise. But if you're looking in the long term goal, then Veru is definitely still attractive if, right? Still attractive if we can get it to cross over $30 per share. My short-term goal is if it could cross over $25 per share, I'll be happy until it starts to move in that direction. So again, guys, make sure that you're following up. Do your research as usual, as I said. Make sure that you are still keeping up to date with what's going on. Now, the disappointing stock that we must talk about is, of course, Sunshine Biopharma. Not much activity in terms of movement in the share price. The last big news we got was the public offering, but anything beyond that point, not much information. So starting to worry me a bit, but in most cases from experience, these are the time when you need to be cautious, because I guarantee you, as soon as you go and sell, if you go and sell your shares, what normally tends to happen is that this stock is gonna start to go higher and higher and higher, and then next thing you know, you're gonna miss out on a great opportunity, as I always say. So make sure before you go and sell your shares of Sunshine Biopharma, do some more research, wait patiently, see what's happening, because this stock at this moment could start to rise again. We saw yesterday, by the way, It was trading at $1.48, and then we saw it crosses $2.15 before we have a pullback before the end of the day. So again, if you're following those two, make sure that you're keeping up to date with it. Now, between me and you guys, I still prefer Veru at this stage because of the FDA meeting, because of the arrangements that's set so far. So it looks more promising on a long-term investment. Now, as I always say, not because we think everything is going smoothly, it doesn't mean that we can't really have some hiccups. So make sure that you are still preparing yourself to make sure that you are making the best decision. Now, there's a stock that we didn't talk about for a while on this channel, and we want to make sure we kind of remind people that not because we're not talking about it, there are still great opportunities, and we want to make sure we don't miss out. Obviously, we have seen Tesla in the past month have came back down significantly from about $1,000 per share to cracking below $625 per share. So this is a big drop in terms of Tesla. We have seen it for a day low of $623. Now keep an eye on this, guys, because this is great opportunity. As usual, I always say, if something doesn't happen in the market to push Tesla down like this, we won't really get these opportunity. Now, if we take a look for the month, we have seen 620 and 57 cents low and a high of $800.04 for the month. Still for the year, we have seen Tesla at $1,243, right? So $1,243. And of course, be mindful of this $571 right there. That's a kicker. I think it was going back in the 580, but it proved me wrong, and it starts to reverse. I was aiming because I have a buy order set at 580 for Tesla because I thought it was going to break that 600 this morning. But again, when we saw it goes to 623 and then it starts to reverse. So let's see where it takes us. But guys, this is great opportunity for you guys to make sure that you're investing in a lot of different options we have available. We saw that Apple was trading at a great price. Let's see here. Apple price was trading at Apple is trading at $139 per share. So this is major price movement for Apple. If we take a look for Apple for the year, we have seen 123 low, but that was way back up in December, I believe. But now we see in the last 6 months, we have get a low of 132. So keep an eye on Apple. I do have Apple shares, which I'm not touching, but if it starts to pull back the way it is, then definitely I will buy more shares and hold. I encourage anyone, do some research. If Apple breaks $130 per share, make sure you're buying some shares and holding, because we still have great things to happen for Apple in 2023 and in 2024. And especially if there starts to have news in terms of electric cars that's coming out, then you will see the price starts to go back to where it normally trade at. So again, we don't want to give too much into it. The market is down from multiple sectors. There are a ton of opportunities if you're looking to invest in the stock market. In the EV side, we have seen a tremendous amount of discount when you look at company like Rivian, when we look at Lucid, and the list goes on, right? In the marijuana section or cannabis section, we see there's a big change in stocks, especially with Tilray, with Canopy Growth. Those companies are trading lower than we anticipated, and of course, the best out of the bunch right now is actually in energy sector. The energy companies are definitely trading higher, and that's great news for anyone that actually holds shares. Now, if you guys remember, I made a video a while back, and I encourage everyone. And this is what I do, guys. I make videos and I tell you guys when I'm going in, and I let you guys know my take on it and what I think is a great opportunity. And if you guys, if you follow along, then definitely you'd see in long term we can make profit. This is why I tell you, I have some stocks for long term like Apple and Tesla, which I will never touch. And these energy companies that are there to make money. in the long term. For example, if you guys remember, for anyone that's been subscribed to this channel from back in the earlier part of 2020, if you've been subscribed to this channel, you remember that I said, listen, I'm buying and holding stocks in Vermilion Energy and in Crescent Point Energy. And if you guys were, if you're following along with me at that journey, it has been a blessing. And now we're looking at seeing where we are, guys. If you remember those videos that I created back in 2020, in the heat of when the market was diving, I said that below $3 per share and at below $4.50 per share, these companies are gonna rise one day. Just be patient. Now, most people were selling because the EV market was starting to pop, and people were saying, "Oh, we're getting away from oil. We're getting away from this type of the industry." And a lot of people weren't buying any stock in the energy, right? And if we take a look right now, for example, with Vermilion Energy, if you go back, I'll post a video to make you guys see where that old video, in 2.5 years, right, we purchased at below $4 per share, and we saw it goes up in the in the earlier part. It touches at $9, but then we saw a pullback. But if we take a look in the last 6 months, guys, these stocks have crosses almost touches $30 per share. So you could more than get tenfold, right? More than 1,000% on these investment. And this is why I say I make simple videos of when you should buy, when this time I'm buying, I should say, and when is the time that I normally sell. But in terms of energy, especially with what's going on now around the world, we'll see prices still tend to hold where it is right now. So now is the time, it's at its peak. I wouldn't try to go in at 26. I'll try to see if it pulls back some more for anyone that's just going in. But for anyone that got in the time what we recommended, it's a great opportunity, and I hope you guys were able to like hold on still to your shares. If you did, that would be a great win for the last 2-3 years. So again, guys, let me know if you guys are holding any stocks for energy, for the EV sector, obviously for the financial sector. We try to cover everything, and retail as well. Make sure that you guys are investing in companies that have products that people are using, right? For example, in the energy, we know, for example, Vermilion and Sunoco. I told you guys about those are still company existed that people are using oil. They're buying gas. We talk about Apple. People are still buying phones. People are still buying computers. We talk about Tesla, obviously, and the cars are still selling. And of course, with Affirm's holding and with Upstart, in the future, similar to what we saw with Vermilion, in the next year or two, you will be wishing you bought at these prices right now. So again, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys hold any shares in these companies so far. But until next time, guys, make sure you're protecting your capital and use a stop loss for your day trades, and make sure you're doing your research. Very important. Let's research before we put our hard-earned money to make sure we can protect that investment. So again, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace out. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.